back, everybody. Today we are out at the Pine Creek area and we're gonna go down and see how much water is coming down. I think it'll be a little more than a creek today. I've shot photos down here before. In fact, there's a video I did of this area in the springtime from about 4 years ago. It's really nice out today. It is about 50 degrees Fahrenheit, cloudy, some rainfall. So we're going to go down and photograph Pine Creek, specifically around the Espinosa Trail. It's not too bad of a hike. It's about 1.75 miles, I think, down to it, or 2 miles, but it's kind of downhill quite a bit with sort of a rolling hike, which is nice, except that once you get done, you have to come back up the hill to get here. So, but it's definitely worth it. It's definitely a place that is worth the drive out from San Diego to. So yeah, let's go down and create some images. All right, so I bumped into a couple hikers. Asked them how it was down here, and they said that the water was flowing really high, which is cool. It might change how I attempt a couple of the photos, whether or not I can get out into the creek or river to create the images or not. But one of them also said, hey, be careful, there's a lot of ticks. And I thought, you know, it's kind of the wrong time of year for ticks up here, but I mean, it is still 50 degrees out. It's not like the ticks have gone dormant or anything. So we're gonna be really careful about the bushes that we brush up against, which normally is something I do in the springtime when I come out here, because the trail has a lot of poison oak around it. So, which can actually be really pretty. You just don't want to brush up against it too much, especially since I'm doing my normal thing of wearing shorts. So today we're gonna look out for ticks and we are going to try to create some beautiful images. I'm a little surprised when it's been raining a lot and the water's flowing down in the main Pine Creek. There's usually at least a little bit of water flowing through this little spot right here, but I guess it hasn't rained enough to cause this creek to flow. Made it to the swimming hole I was talking about, and the water flow is not as high as I was expecting from what the hikers I bumped into said. So it should be pretty easy for me to get to the first spot I want to photograph. And the reason why I want to photograph this spot first is because I want some of this reflected light, or let me rephrase that. I want some of this light that hopefully breaks through the clouds to hit the side of the mountain here with this granite and throw a little more light down into the scene. That'll help sculpt it a little bit more. So we'll see how that goes. We still got to hike just a little bit further up and over some boulders and then make our way across the stream, basically into the middle of the creek. So yeah, a little bit further. So this big swimming hole is one of the spots I was thinking about photographing as I was leaving to do a nice long exposure, which I've done one time before, but I thought maybe I could improve on it. However, there's not enough water flow to get the effect that I want. So we'll have to come back in the springtime and try that shot again. The little pool, or little granite circular spot that I wanted to photograph is actually almost completely underwater. I think I will go ahead and grab the camera, come over here and take a photo just as a reference photo, and a photo that can go alongside what I've photographed in the past. And who knows, maybe it ends up looking really cool. So yeah, let's do that. All right, we're gonna keep this pretty simple, do my best. It's not too slippery right here, actually. Got some good grip. In the past, I've actually photographed it from right over here, but it's different. So I'm gonna take a picture, I think, maybe from here, right over here. I can get to these boulders and take that, or I might just do a higher. No, I want to be lower. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna play around with it a little bit and see what happens. Let's talk you through this. I've got the 32 to 64 on the camera right now. I'm zoomed in to 64. I'd like to be a little bit tighter, maybe around 80, but all I have is a 100 to 200. So that'll be too tight, and I can't go back any further to get it just right. So it's not quite the framing I wanted. Let's see. I'm about 2 seconds. So f22, 2 seconds, ISO 40. Let's see what I think about that. It's okay. Spin the polarizer a little bit, see if that helps things out a bit. Helps a little bit. It's a little interesting. I think maybe it needs to be a little longer exposure, and maybe if I move out to these rocks right here, that'll help it out a little bit. We won't see so much back into the dead or the dormant bushes and stuff if I come over here. Yeah, I kind of need to be maybe right in between, but so check this out. I went ahead and moved over here to the right to where I actually had the video camera set up because it looked better from this angle than where I was. What I've also done is I'm up higher than I was, looking down on it just a little bit. I still wish I had a little longer lens, maybe an 80 or so, would allow me to frame it up exactly how I want it. But I can always crop in, it's not a big deal. So the way I have it framed up right now is the water's entering from the right, it's going into the bowl a little bit and then coming over, and with that long exposure, the water's sort of joining back up, moving to the left, but I have a little boulder to the left of the frame there that's stopping the eye from just taking off. So kind of keeps it moving around. I'm also shooting at ISO 40, f22, and we're about 3 seconds right now, playing around with that. I think I want to go ahead and throw the 6-stop. I wish I had a 3-stop. I might look and see if I have the 3-stop with me, because I think 3 stops would actually be perfect. I don't think it would overkill. I think 6 stops is going to smooth it out way too much and probably lose all texture in the water, and I don't want that right now. Another little tidbit of information for you. If you have, I'm going to assume this is the same way with Fuji cameras all the way across the board, so I'll just make that statement. I was trying to set the camera up to shoot panoramic so I could see that on the back of the camera, but it wouldn't let me do that until I selected to shoot JPEGs as well as RAW files. So little tidbit information on a Fuji camera. If you want to be able to select square or panorama and see that on your screen, you're going to have to select JPEGs along with RAW. And the reason why I say along with RAW is because for me, I'm not a JPEG shooter. I like to get the RAW file back onto the computer at home and to work it to what I think the image should be, much like you would do with the negative. If you think about Ansel Adams, he would go out in the field and expose his negatives and then come back and then spend hours in the dark room sort of perfecting his vision of what that scene was. So I like to do the same thing with RAW files. Not to compare myself to Ansel Adams by any means. So I took a few with the camera about a foot lower than this, and then I decided to lift it up to get a little bit more of an angle looking down on the scene. The light slowly warmed up a little bit there for a second, and then it's gone back away. But I think there was a gap right there that isn't there anymore. All right, as you can tell, the sun's popping out right now and it's warming the scene up a lot. There's some little reflected light that's coming back over into the shot. The only thing is it's really changing my shutter for the water, and I've got to go for something a little bit faster. But you know what? I did have a 3-stop. It's a 82 mil, but I forgot I had a step-up ring. So it's come on. It's gonna be f/22 ISO 40 at 15 seconds. So let's see, it's still there's still some warm light that's coming in. I'll have to balance out that ND because it's gonna throw a little bit of a color cast on it as well. I don't mind that. I might go 16 so that we can drop that down to maybe 8 seconds. I think there's some nice little light that came through there, warmed things up a little bit. The best light though, I'm not sure if I blew out some of the rock or not, but the light, it's still, there is a warm light that's coming in right now, and there's a little bit of definition in that bowl right there, where the bowl looks a little darker to me than the top of it, which helps sort of give more definition. I think I got a pretty good image, and I think when I get back, I'm gonna go ahead and crop it so that it's a 65 by 24, because I love the lines of this bowl, and when it's cropped in nice, you get this repeating line, and then the water sort of follows that repeating line as well. So yeah, I think it works. I just hope that one of those shots where the lighting was a little bit better, where it was a little more defined, I hope one of those comes out. And if it doesn't, then I'll just come back again. This is one of my favorite places in San Diego. It's this Pine Creek area because of the water flow and the granite. If you go up a little bit further, there are a couple other really cool little spots that I don't think I'm gonna go up and photograph today, but I'll go ahead and show you a couple pictures from the past. It's really neat. I've actually come up here during the summertime where there's no water, just to sort of check out these different little bowls and different rock formations and stuff. So I think it's really interesting to see it when there's no water. I actually have an image of this where there's some bong water that was sitting in that bowl. I mean, it's dark, nasty looking, but it looks really cool. So I'll show you that image as well. But yeah, one of my favorite spots. I mean, every time I come up here, you notice a little something different, especially right now because it's a little cooler, so there's a lot more moss that's growing on the rocks. That doesn't happen in the summertime because it gets into triple digits right here. I actually was just looking up, and there's this really neat little rock cropping right here with some trees that I don't know that it's photogenic. It just looks really neat. Okay, I think I got the image. The sun came out and warmed things up just enough and threw a little more light, reflected light, back into the scene. So I think we have a good one. I'm pretty sure that it's gonna end up being a 65 by 24 with a crop, because I love how the lines all come together. It creates this really good visual. So yeah, I think we're gonna end up doing that for sure. This is one of those precarious tripod positions where there is absolutely no way that I would walk away from this right now. But I do like this closer look, looking down into the bowl from right here. Looks pretty cool. Just trying to get that composition just right. The tough part is there's a little bit of a breeze now, and this is barely standing here, and it's a 20-second exposure, f/16 ISO 40. It actually looks like the sun's gonna pop back out. There's some nice warm light coming in, but there's also some sprinkles, so see what happens. 40 seconds, f22, ISO 40, and here comes the wind. All right, here we go. 30 seconds, f22, ISO 40. Hey, thanks for joining me today. It's been absolutely beautiful. I don't think I would ask for anything different. It wasn't what I was expecting, but it's still such a great day, man. It is, I mean, the water flow's good. I thought it would be a little bit different, but that's one of the fun things about coming back to places that you photographed before or hiked before is they change, you know? Today I pulled into the parking lot, the trailhead up here, and there's picnic tables now and an outhouse or a bathroom. And that wasn't there the last time I was here. So things change in a lot of different ways. The water flow is different, the rocks have moved around a little bit, and it's just nice to come back and check it out. So I'm sorry I didn't get to share with you a little bit further up, but I think I'll come back out here in the next week or two and take everyone up there to see those spots and try to create a cool image there. But all right, I've got to go ahead and pack up real quick and get back up to the car before it gets too dark. I did bring a headlamp, but thank you all so much for watching. I had a great time today creating these images, and I hope you enjoyed watching. So thank you, and we'll see you next time. Take care.